Hello guys, welcome to another week on the foil series. Today I am trying to do something a little bit different. Give me just a second. I don't know why it's not. There we go. So background music is on. I don't know why it was not on before. So like I mentioned, my idea now is to have kind of a weekly podcast of the full series where I go over some of the things that have impacted me from the last week. Start with that, start with a little conversation, go over what has been happening during the week on the full series, starting obviously with that. Then move on to a little bit of talking about something that I saw last during the week that I want to talk about. I have something very important about to talk about that this week. And then move on to the top 3 matches. If we have one, or top 6 matches, top 3 matches from two rounds. If 2 rounds have been completed, and in the remaining time, today will be around an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. So if we have time, I'll just take some matches at random. So since I am doing some matches randomly, I have just taken here from a random list, discounting the top 3 tables that are the tables that I would have watched for us to check them out. This is something I want to talk about as well. I'll go into that in just a second. But first, I just wanted to see how things are moving. So we are almost halfway. Almost most people have already completed. So it is 58 tables from this round. We are missing how many? 20. So about a little bit more than half completed for this round. I am still missing my match with my opponent. We still have until tomorrow at 7 a.m. So I may be getting the win because my opponent didn't connect. Yes, I understand it was a little bit difficult because it went into the night. I don't know why it started at 9:51 my time. It should have started at 7 a.m. For some strange reason, I started it a little bit late, but nonetheless, that's not the point. The point is that it'll be 9:51 then the match will be completed. Okay, but this is what we're going to be looking at second. The first thing I wanted to see before we even move on is I'm gonna do a bit of test here. Yes, I see the test over there. Let me see if I can see the test over here, if it also pops up. So yep, there we go. So both the full series YouTube and my Twitch channel are right now focused on the full series. Not sure what will happen. First, I wanted to start with a little bit intermission. Not sure what will happen with my Twitch channel. It's not a full series. It's my personal channel. It's, to name it, it's alteredtcg. Not sure if I will change it. I'm not sure what will happen with Altered come May. I may just focus Altered on for English on the full series, focusing on tournaments, just tournaments. So full series for Altered in English, and the Altered Latin League in case I want to post something in Spanish. So kind of those may be the channels I'll be focusing Altered on. I know my YouTube channel, I renamed it to the Fantasy League, but unfortunately 39 cards, and I just want to check out how is 39 cards doing before we move on to the main topic. I see that they have been uploading kind of regularly still. Numbers are not that high right now, so you can see Aces week 3 had 104. Aces has not been reposted. We have the weekly worldwide that has also dropped a lot in numbers. So perhaps it was because of the Easter holiday. Perhaps we're gonna see how things work out with the Altered Latin League, where that'll be on Wednesday. But I just wanted to check out, since this didn't actually ended up working, the Fantasy League will be suspended. I will be moving, like I said, my channel will most likely move to another type of content. Not, I don't want to spoil it right now. I just wanted to mention. So, I just wanted to go over this video that I saw right here. I am not attacking the ideas. I'm not attacking the person, sorry. The ideas, I am. Let me see if I can get a summary. Yeah, I can get a summary right here. It's going to be in Spanish. Let's see if I can. Yeah, Gemini gave me the summary in Spanish, so I can just go ahead and check reading it in Spanish and then putting up my answers in English in case I missed some point of the video. I just wanted to start going over what he said. Like I said, I am attacking the ideas, not the person. But from what I hear, he is a store. So that means that his point is valid in the sense that he represents most likely what stores felt about the print on demand. That being said, what he says himself is not what really happened with the print on demand. Let me just make a brief summary of what he says. The print on demand, it was not a good thing because that means that the uniques could only be sold for a profit of $1.75. That's the gist of it. Because since cars could be printed, they could just charge for the print and a little bit of markup. And with delivery costs, so $1.75 is the top that you could get things moving. This is, if you understand the game, if you understand the marketplace, if you understand what Altered was offering for the stores in a very strict, very condensed way, and that is not what Altered was offering. The fact that Altered had its own marketplace means that you could get things digitally. The marketplace was, as we all know, the place to get things digitally, actually. Let me try and see if I can pull myself a little bit higher. Yeah, I think just about there. So, yeah, let's go. It was to get things, like I said, digitally. The purpose of all this, the ecosystem of Altered for stores was something that, yes, Equinox did drop the ball, but not from the marketplace and not from the print on demand. The problem was not the print on demand service. It was something that could help people that bought digitally, and for stores, it was a golden opportunity for them to sell singles, gold, uniques, commons, rares. Why? Because you could buy from a store almost like if you bought from the marketplace, just the same thing, but you save the print on demand. So you could, if the difference was let's say 150, based on his numbers, you could save a customer up to 150 if you matched the market price. Let's say that you wanted to save him 50 cents. And the time that it would take for it to be printed, shipped, you have it right there. That was the main selling point of stores having the option to have singles, which was not fully explained, or it was not fully understood by the stores. That's why I say that his point is completely valid, that its stores did not understand it at all. The math that he does is completely wrong. Uniques could not be sold at most 175. It was 175 that, let's say 150, that a player could save from buying the unique from a store, a similar unique to the one that they were looking for, because after all, uniques are uniques. You find something similar on the market, You see what the price is. You show him, okay, so this is what I want. This is the marketplace. This is the cheapest one I've gotten, very similar to what I want from what you have. It is at $20. So how about I sell it at 20? You sell it for me at 21, at 20.50. You put a markup from the marketplace starting with $1. That, and you, because if they buy it, they will have to get 20 cards, not just one. Shipping. So you are helping them save some money by just purchasing the card that they need. Be it a common, be it a rare, be it a unique, be it an exalted afterwards. So the stores were actually saving people. That was the part that was not completely understood. Where did Equinox drop the ball? They dropped the ball by not giving the stores the tools for them to do the transaction easily. Why? How? Why? Let's say you went to... They didn't fully promote it. Most stores didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. They understood a little bit better than what this guy understood. He said 175 because you could print lots of uniques of the same, so it was just worth the print. No, those cards were not valid. You could have more than one card for casual. You could print more than one unique for casual, for keeping, for whatever reason you want. I printed my cards in Spanish. I still have the card in English, but I printed my cards in Spanish, so when I played with someone who didn't understand English, they could still understand my cards. That was that was the main thing that people didn't understand. When you bought a card digitally, you bought 6 cards because you could print it in 6 different languages. So it's not just one card. When you buy from a store, you're buying just the language that it is. And okay, so you save a little bit. You still get the digital card that is kind of 6 cards in one, but the physical cards is just in one language. Now, going back to my point, where was the missed opportunity in I'm gonna talk first in the marketplace and then in a retail sense. Where did Equinox drop the ball? First of all, it was a little bit tedious for stores to sell their uniques. Why? When you go to with any TCG, you want a single, you get the single, you go to the register, you pay for it, and you leave with your card. How much did the transaction take? 30 seconds. The time it took to online. The problem with the digital ownership was that you needed to transfer the card digitally as well. And for that, they needed at the store needed to reply. They needed to ask for the username of the person buying and then send the card. Yes, it takes a little bit longer. It could take a little bit longer because the notifications, the internet, the interface was not that fast to do all those things. So how could they help both stores and singles players or singles vendors? They register with a pro account, and pro accounts or store accounts have a different set of rules. Instead of having to add someone that was part of the trade and sell for someone you know, let pro account stores scan the code, the user comes in, and I even dare say, since they already are well into QR and the QR sense, the person purchasing opens the app, gets a QR for them to be added, because there was no easy way for someone to get they had to input your username exactly with the underscore, with the numbers. So it was kind of a tedious process. Just have the QR, have them add you, or for stores, for purchases, you just, who are you sending it to? Instead of using the QR to add players, you add the QR to the person you're sending it to. And Then you have the scan card. You scan all the cards that they're purchasing, and you take them directly from your from the store's vault, from the store's collection, to the person you're giving it to. That would have saved so much time. So much time. It would have been easier for those selling physically and the one purchasing physically. So let's make an example. Let's see if I have my cell phone over here. Give me a second. So let's say I go into Altered. I go into Altered, so I have here my Altered account. I go right here to go into my account. This is my account. And how do people add me? They need to input the username that is right here. Then they need to type it fully. So have some option over here to share. QR code. You share it. You show it. The store scans it. They go into their collection. They go into transfer or something like that, because there is no transfer option on my collection. But if I am a store, I have a special thing. So all the system works when it's person to person. Usually you're not going to sell too much. But if you're a store, you register as a pro account. That means that you're a store. You have a separate tool tool options since you're a store, and you just want to transfer. So you just, okay, show me your QR. You show the QR, then you scan all the cards. There you go. Still a little bit longer than just doing physically, yes, but not as difficult as it would be. Not as difficult as it would be if you having to go through all the process. What was a main advantage that Alter did not explain well to the stores is the fact that they can, what's the word? They can have their collection protected. How? Pretty simple. Since you have already scanned the cards, someone steals the card, someone takes the folder from you, they got nothing. They don't get the digital ownership. You can print the card again. Yes, you will lose on commons. Maybe you will lose on some rares if you have to print them again. But most likely people are not going to steal commons. But the uniques that were especially powerful, you are protecting them. Someone can take them. Sure, they can take them to a tournament, but they will not have the digital ownership, so that deck will not be legal. So stores could have something that no other game offers right now. Well, not any other popular game offers right now. Your collection is protected. There is one game, the predecessor of the digital market, that did. That is both. They're both from the same company, PlayFusion. Lightseekers and Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions have already been discontinued. The server is not working. Lightseekers is. However, in Lightseekers, it's a little bit more. It's actually easier in Lightseekers because each card has their own unique QR. Rather, and once you want to transfer, you transfer that card directly, rather than adding it to your collection, and only the uniques are the ones that, not going to go into too much depth, but there was that option. There was a game that did it. So Altered missed that. Equinox missed that for the retail stores. Give them tools for them to for it to be more attractive for them to have Altered, to have those uniques, to develop the secondary market, not online like most since other games do, but do it on the retail. Make people want to go to the retail. That's something that people said, but there was no incentive to go to the retail. This could have been it. This could have helped people a lot. The second thing was something that they kind of implemented, but not for retails. It was something that was offered for retails, but in the end was open for the general public. The print on demand for stores. I understand that the print on demand was something that we needed worldwide. They did open it worldwide. It took a little bit more than expected, but they did open it worldwide. But how could have they handle it for stores to have it a little bit more, to have it a little bit be more, a little bit more interesting for them? Just like the POD, but don't limit it to 4. Limit it perhaps for stores 10 people. So you open a POD, you see if people want to join, and you collect it for yourself, and then you send over the cards that people have ordered. Kind of what POD works, but instead of limiting it to 4, give the pro stores, and should have been done through the stores, give them 10. So if you do it yourself, you can have 4 people. But if you go through a retail store, it's up to 10. That means that the shipping cost is divided again in between more people, since it is a bigger, most likely a bigger order. There are more chances that you'll get to that 15 what's it called, the 15 booster limit. And with a 15 booster limit, shipping will be free. So you have another incentive to go to the stores. The final nail in the coffin, something that they started doing a little bit late, was for the stores. Any other TCG does. This is something that they really missed. Let the TCG stores participate in the OP. They kind of did it with the tumults. The tumults was handled through stores doing their online thing, doing their monthly thing. Not even their set thing. It was once a set, there was a tumult. One tumult every 4 months, every set. They then decided to integrate the stores. Second year was going to have these stores very interested. Well, they were going to be options for the stores to be a much more interesting option, since they were going to have the option to once a month do a qualifier, and it could even be on draft, it could be on sealed, so stores could just burn their stock that way if they wanted. And that way they could, the stores were part of the OP, because the OP tended to be a little bit more on the online sense, and stores could not really compete with what the online sense did, what online was doing. They did a little bit late. They did it, but they did a little bit late. So that was something that should have been, I think, year 1 was a good experiment, but they mentioned things for year 2 that they never fulfilled on, because we never knew what was coming. I can tell you right now. Give me a second. Find my other set of headphones, because this ones are almost dead. Let me also change to my other headsets. Give me a second. So while I'm talking, the thing that they never told us was that qualifiers for year 2, because we didn't actually the amount we needed for everything to be all right. Whoop. Not what I meant. Let me go ahead and see. Let's do it here. Okay, there we go. Audio is okay right now. Okay, so the qualifiers were just going to be in Europe, most likely even only on France. Let me just mute it just in case. Go. So that there was that. That was something that could actually impact very negatively what the feeling was, especially worldwide. But I understand they explained that the fact was that the market was mainly in Europe, and at that mainly on France. So they were going to cater year 2 because we didn't get to the actual goals. Year 2 was going to focus all qualifiers, in-person qualifiers, on France. That didn't happen in the end because the game ended. That Equinox support is going to end next month, so that didn't happen this month. That didn't happen that month, so it didn't happen at all. So yeah, that was it. But stores were brought into the OPs, into the organized play too late. All games launch with OP being mainly on stores, but there was really no incentive to go to stores. There was really nothing you could say that it was the reason to go to stores. There was every 4 months a tumult. There were the pre-releases, but other than that, there was really no incentive to go to your local game store to go to Altered. So those were the two main things that, to me, Equinox missed when moving the when they started things. They didn't give full LGS support. They kind of shifted, gave too much support to the online, and forgot to do something for the stores. At least that's what I feel. That was the main takeaway that I get from the video. Like I said, the idea that calling it the dumbest idea means that he didn't understand what the marketplace wanted. It was a way for stores actually to protect their assets because they were all locked in their collection. The physical card was important for scanning. Once you had scanned it, the physical card lost a lot of its value by itself. But if you could sell it and then transfer the digital property easily, all of this could have been prevented. There were marketing issues as well. The game was not well promoted, etc, etc, etc. Yes, but the main tools that Equinox could have had, besides marketing or help stores, were not there. So with that, I'm going to end the kind of weekly report of things that I found interesting about Altered. Next week, I'm going to talk about another video, a channel that actually mentioned that he started the channel for Altered, and now Altered is over. So kind of want to go over his goodbye video and to Altered, and just kind of go over how things are going. So with that being said, 28 minutes in, let's go ahead and move on to the main topic, that is going to be our tournament. Let's take this away. Let me just go ahead and pull myself here to the corner. Let me just also filter things up. There we go. Let's push it all the way here. Now, actually, I like the 85%. Let me just, yeah, I think I'm still going to keep it at 0.85. There we go. Yeah, I think I like that. You can see actually the logo behind me. So, like I said, we're going to check the top 3 matches first. We're gonna start with since it's round 1, it is actually almost as if it was random. Actually, Chile did win against a player that dropped. So let's go ahead and check number 4 then. Is this complete? Yeah, let's go ahead and check number 4, number 2, and number 1. I'm gonna do it in that order. This was abandoned, so let's go ahead and move on. This was completed. This was abandoned, so let's keep moving down the ladder. Number 5, number 6, abandoned, Ooh. 7 and 8, abandoned, and this one was completed, so we got one of our top games. Let's go to number 9. This was completed as well. Okay, so we got 3 completed matches. Like you told me, like you asked me to skip the non-completed matches. That means that we are on one of those. This is Weird Awkward against Ted the Totem. It was expected for Ted the Totem to win, actually with a 30% win chance for Weird Awkward. So congratulations on that. He did beat the odds. We're going to watch the game over here. We're gonna watch his deck over here, but first let's go ahead and take it to Ted the Totem. So, let's go ahead and see. It should be right here. Let's see. It is covering a little bit. Yeah, I think there should be no problem with just covering a little bit of things because we're going to check the uniques out. So we have here the Paper Herald. Ooh, I forgot. Yeah, let me just go ahead and quickly change to English. Otherwise, I'm going to be reading the names with a little bit of difficulties. So let me change it to English. I forgot to do that before we started the stream, so that's on me. We're going to have to update this. Let's see. Okay. Can we your time? Yeah. Okay, so let's start with Ted the Totem. Ted the Totem seems to have abandoned. Lyra is playing Sigismund this set. So we got the Paper Herald. When another non-token character joins your expedition resupply, and the support ability, create an Ordis recruit in token. Sorry. Create an Ordis recruit in target expedition. Then we got the Gian Overseer when another no-token character joins your expedition resupply. So this is a very heavy resupply deck. The support ability, you may activate the arrow ability to determine permanent you control. No permanent, so just using it for the resupply. The Monolith Legate when the Ordis Trooper, there we go. When another non-token card during expedition resupplies, like I said, they're very heavy resupply deck. The next card you play this afternoon costs 1 less, and if you control a token, create an Ordis Recruit in your companion expedition. So if you have Sigismund and you play the Ordis Trooper, it's going to be a 1/1. So this is a kind of a 2-for-1 cost. You can even increase her with anything if he doesn't use any permanents, but good. So not a bad unique at all. Can use and have lots of use right there. So that was the Totem. Let's go ahead and check now with Okor's deck. Akesha. Akesha for, I'm guessing this is for tournaments. That's what it says. It's got 3 hungers, rare hungers at that. Kurokami Unbound, so lots of support there. We got the Alice. You may discard target permanent when played from anywhere. When it joins the expedition, you may discard target permanent. When played from reserve, you control 1 or more landmarks. You may send to reserve target card of 3 or less, so it has control as well. And the support ability after you. Then we got the Baku. Target opponent discards a card from their hand. Traditional Baku. That is whenever he joins the expeditions. When played from hand, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If it's a spell, up to 1 target character gains fleeting. And the Rekha Bioengineer. You may exhaust a card in your reserve. If you do, draw a card, then create a mana seed token in your land. When played from reserve, you may pay 1 less for the next one less for the next spell you play this turn to a minimum of 1. There we go. So let's go ahead and check how the game played out. So let's go to the end of the match. Oh, sorry, this says partially in Spanish, partially in English. Let me just go ahead and update that. So let's go to the game. There we go. So probably just going to open with the Baba Yaga, and I'm actually going to open with the After You. Or is it Jordan? So going to play on the hero side. Draw a card. Going to allow him to push forward, but not going to give him resources that Weird Awkward actually got. Something I forgot to mention, I believe this is also a French duel. Okay, so one of the hungers goes to mana. Day 2. Very same thing. Okay, going to play the Off You Go. Still 2 mana left, so kind of an after you right now. Or this Trooper on the companion and just going to block on the hero side. There we go. So again, 1 for 1. Stopping the card draw for Ted the Totem. And this is going to be especially hurtful because he already has the back row on hand. So that means that the back row is going to leave even less resources for Ted the Totem. He exhausts a card, so he's even forced to use a card from hand. The Gian Overseer, there we go. After you. The Ordis Attorney, going to get that resupply. Now he's going to play the discord. So actually, Ted the Totem is going to lose 2 cards right now on the reserve for an overcharge. Once again, the 1 for 1. This is very hurtful for Ted the Totem because he has lost most of his resources. Weird Awkward still has the resource advantage. There we go. Conjuring Seal goes to mana. Gian just 1 strength right there. Blocks the... Yeah, he could not place mana right now. Going to discard the other card on hand. And I think it's going to be blocked. No, he just got the double resupply. He's going to be able, yes, to move forward today, just barely. It's a double advance from Ted the Totem, double resupply. Places unordered recruit, not to at least have something else. That was just because he actually did not need that. Once again, going to lose a card. Not going to be able, most likely, to place a card in as mana again. So once again, falling behind in that sense. No, he did. He just got... He has the Herald. He exhausts. He exhausts the card right there. Not able to move forward, but at least he wants to have that second after you. So Ted the Totem is 1 step away from winning. Going to lose a card once again. But he is in the position to just take full advantage of the hunger right now. We're just going to draw a card. Going to 7. Going to most likely, go for the after you. The Ordis Trooper being played. Going to play a token right there. The hunger coming out. Everything goes. So if he had control. If he had even 1 license withdrawal. So yeah, he lost everything. He got rid of the hunger. But right now, he is extremely low on resources. He's going to have to play what he has on hand. And Weird Awkward still has 2 and doesn't need actually to keep pushing for... Yeah, like I said, he doesn't need to keep pushing for resources. He just has the after you. So Ordis Overseer, it is behind, so he gets a token. The Rekka Supporter, that gives him mana. No more play from Ted the Totem. Gives a token, 2 tokens in. That means that he is advancing right now. Uses 1 more mana to place something on the other side. Exhausts the Rekka Supporter in order to draw and get a token. Sorry, not the Rekka Supporter. The Sports Encounter. He has a second one on hand, so Sports Encounter most likely going to go away. So we're awkward bringing it back. Ooh, going to the Kurokami is going to do some heavy damage. Not sure if right now. There we go. Plays from reserve. Not right now. Like I said, not sure if it was. It's not. Easy Talk not allowing it to play on the other side. So just going to give 2 boosts right now. Once again, Tete Totem passes. With the unique, he's able to block. Draws 1, 2 tokens in. No movement today. But at least Tete Totem is kind of bringing back a little bit of his control. It is first turn for Wiroko right now. Decides to get rid of the Kurokami. Okay, I thought he was actually going to use it right now. Just draws as an pseudo after you. Draws as well. Tete Totem draws as well. Foundry Mechanic going on one side. After you from Word Awkward. Easy Talk once again. Just draws 2 more cards. And Tete Totem needs to pass. It's going to be Houdini. He's going to draw again. Going to get 2 mana back. Going to play the Rekka supporter with 1 more mana in order to give him 5. And with that, this is going to be game because Blizzard, of course, is going to get rid of absolutely everything on Tete Totem's side. And with that, he's going to do the double move forward with just 1 strength. Harry Houdini doing his thing with his Rekka supporter. Something very heavily based on. Something very heavily based on the fact that very heavy control. So like I said, it was indeed a French duel. So I need to push this. It's weird. There we go. Okay, so it was a French duel, like I said, with very heavy support, very heavy. Now it's looking okay. So that was our game number 1. Let's go ahead and move to game number 2. Aurora Boreale is from France, if I'm not mistaken. He had an 81% chance of winning against One Chunky. So the expected outcome was indeed what happened. This is going to be Aurora Boreale. This is going to be Aurora Boreale's deck. And this is going to be Chunky's deck. There we go. So this is a Finnish player against a Swedish player against a French player in Aurora Boreale. Let's go ahead and check Chunky's deck. I think it's kind of going all over the place. Not bad, but too many cards at one to my taste. Let's go ahead and check his unique. The Haven Bouncer. These are all abilities from reserve. You may discard 1 of your mana orbs if you do sabotage. A little bit costly for a 4 cost. You may pay 1. If you do, you may return target card or permanent with hand cost 4 or less to its owner cards. I think this card for a 3 is a little bit expensive because you need to discard 1 of your mana orbs to sabotage. If this was a 3 cost, paying 1 to get rid of a permanent with hand cost 4 or less, then I think it would be worth it. But a 2/4 3/3/3, I think this one is a little bit too expensive for my taste. Talarian Skater, Scout 1, 1 play from hand. If your reserve is empty, target character gains 1 boost. At dusk, if your reserve is empty, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone, so kind of ramping up. That is good. Compensate with the other card. This Smoldering Djinn, at dusk, put the top card of your deck in your mana zone as an exhausted mana orbs. When you pass first, if you control a plating character, gain 2 boost, or away like 1 boost. So kinda very good card then as well for ramping. So it's a hard hitting deck like Chunky says. Let's go ahead. We're gonna see how hard hitting it was in the end. If it was perhaps just a festival win from Aurora. Although he does not have the festival win, so it must have been that he actually overcame the hard-hitting deck. We have the Lyra Contortionist here. When an opponent draws 1 or more cards or does resupply, I gain 1 boost. If you control 2 or more plants other than me, exhausted resupply, and I don't count toward your reserve limit. What the contortionist likes to do. The charitable Reka. When played from hand, you may target a character other than me and gains anchored with 3 or less. The Reka Investor. When you pass, create a mana seed token in target player's landmarks, and when it joins the expedition, if I'm in plant, draw a card. And the support ability up to 1 target card to gain flavor. So kind of a very straightforward Rin deck. Wants to have lots of strength due to plant. So let's go ahead and go to end game over here. It was end game. There we go. So first turn is going to be for Chunky. A good chance to have a double advance. If he can capitalize on the fact that he has Huda out. There we go. Snowman for 2. It is in water. It doesn't gain fleeting. Blocks right now. Not able to do the double advance. The Reka actually a very good card to have right now. It is on plant. Draws. He puts a mana seed right now. So mana seed kind of giving him 5 mana to play for with next turn. To play with, this turn. So can kind of anchor this turn and just wait for it, or do again with the Reka Investor. Being able to move forward right now goes to 2 mana. 3 and ascends the Companion Expedition. So gains anchored. It's going to be a double advance from Aurora Borealis and even gets another mana orb. Another mana seed, sorry. So right now, Aurora 1 expedition ahead. Puts down the... going to lose to 1 card right now, sorry. The floor 10 goes away. Most likely going to get rid of a mana druid. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, a good possibility. Ooh, and a sabotage on the mana druid. Yeah, that was the best thing to do. Ascended expedition on the hero side. Chunky has nothing left to do. So he just uses all of his mana to leave there a aloe vera that actually is going to be on water. It's exactly what he wants to do. Since he just moved on one side, just going to put 1 card down. Can anchor the aloe vera again for next turn. Resentful Robin going to mana. Good card to have on that resupply. It's going to give him lots of strength to move on both sides. This is going to push to 4. Still moving forward. Going to anchor the... Okay, this is going to be gigantic. Going to anchor then. He still has 1 mana left. I don't think he's going to do anything else. So it's we are back at a stalemate. With the double advance right now. This is going to just give him 2 chocolate bars unreserved to Chunky. But the reserve at the resources advantage is very well in Aurora Borealis' favor. Glacier for 4, most likely going to... Oh, no, I thought it was going to go the other way around. Okay, so this is it. This is the double advance for Aurora Borealis, and that's how he takes the game. He even draws, can put a card down. It just doesn't matter because it's going to end at the end of the day anyway. Just gets 3 random cards, and just like that, Aurora Borealis actually takes the game. So with that, let's move on to the last game. This is Hispam against Choro. This is a Spanish player against a Brazilian player. I don't even need to go into the match to know that this is actually, like I mentioned, it was a 30%. Oh, I didn't notice Choro's elo actually. So was a 30% chance win probability for his spam. So his spam actually defeated the odds, and he was able to take the win. And that's gonna be the match. This is going to be his deck, but first let's go ahead and check Shoto's deck. So like I said, a Brazilian player against a Spanish player. This is Linwe final. Shoto has shown that he has a very good domain of the Linwe deck. This is the Ismir Nurse. You may sacrifice a character. If you do, draw a card, otherwise resupply. That is when it joins the expeditions. When it is played from hand, if you reserve empty sabotage and the support ability after you. You may sacrifice a character. This is the Baba Yaga. When it joins the expedition, you may sacrifice a character. If you do, draw a card. There's Nizar Shroom. When played from hand, you may discard one of your mana orbs. If you do, I gain anchored. Whenever it joins the expedition, you may sacrifice a character. If you do, draw a card. So kind of wanting to draw as many cards as you want. I forgot to mention that the Baba Yaga has a support ability that the next card you play this afternoon costs one less. Got only one hunger, but lots of ways to generate moths mainly. So this is a moth-centered deck, a typical Linwe deck at that. Now let's go ahead and move to his spam. So his spam is using his deck the full series. So muchísimas gracias his spam for that. Let's go ahead and check his deck. He's still playing with Trace. We got the Gabroach. A very what's the name? A very stat heavy Gabroach. Gabroach normally has just a 1/1/0 if I'm not mistaken. When played from reserve, create an airlet token in your landmarks. Also, if you control a character in each of your expeditions, create an airlet token in your landmarks. Otherwise, create one in each player landmark. So not too bad if you kind of want to play both sides and then play him. You get 2 airlets actually right away. Then you got the Merlin with a Scout 3. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, you may send to reserve any number of target character with mountain target character with total mountain of 4 or less. And the support ability, the next character you play this turn gains 1 boost. So kind of this is a Merlin that also includes a avalanche. He also plays the rare avalanche to be able to eliminate 5 or more. And finally, the wings jumper. When played from hand, you may rush. If you do, draw a card. When I leave the expedition zone, if I was fleeting, target character in reserve gains 1 boost. So you kind of want to use it when you have something else in reserve. And with that, let's go ahead and check how the game played out. So this is the game. There we go. Now, let's see how this goes. Okay, so no characters for the turn number 1. He's just making sure to keep up his options. Going to sacrifice the very same mob just to have 2 more cards. So going out for resources. His spam is kind of doing the same thing. Going to be able to move forward, and his spam is just going to get 1 token up. Still no characters in reserve. Going to lose a draw with that hooked, but at least he does have some options to use it to draw again. Okay, no characters again. He may sacrifice today again. No. Now he tries to get some characters in. The Baba Yaga, the Isba. It's going to be 2. Going to play, of course. And it really doesn't matter which side he plays it on. Gets a second token in. Going to be a 1/1. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was going to use the Gibble in order to get something else out. He can block actually with this. Just give a boost on the other side just for good measure. get... Oh, no, it's not going to block. It's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be, again, the 1-for-1 with an after you. Key spam is just going to pass. Shoto is going to pass as well. So, like I said, 1-for-1. Shoto keeping up his 1-card advantage. Sorry, she's 1 expedition advantage. Most likely going to get rid of the sabotage. There's nothing to sabotage right now. Almost at the 5 token mark with Traced. Now he's going to get those tokens in. Most likely he's going to move the... No, he cannot move it right now. Ooh, sacrifices the very same... the Mo. Gets 1 in. Going to place it down. Going to give it a 3. Going to move. Going to block on the hero side. Going to get rid of that piece. But I'm going to win on the companion side. Bringing it back to a stalemate. And still, Shoto still with the resources, but now the draw engine of Trace has been activated. Yeah, that 4 cost is a little bit expensive for Trace. Now he gets things in reserve. He cannot sacrifice, but I don't think this one actually wants to sacrifice. He goes up to 3, blocking right now. Jellyfish for 1. Draw, and going to place the other Amelia on the companion side. So blocking and pushing on the other side. The Marie Curie, once again, going to sacrifice the Jellyfish. Right, so he's going to get a 2. And with this, he's going to erase the Marie Curie and the Mo. So he's actually winning on both sides. Double advance from key spam. Two expeditions ahead. And very good cards in the hand to use with Traced. So the Jellyfish goes down. Ooh, that Merlin is going to do some heavy damage. All out with this Amelia. There we go. The Mo appears. The Shroom that's going to sacrifice the Jellyfish. He's going to draw 1. This is going to take him to 4. So the Merlin just in time with that Scout. Is going to erase everything and then he pulls down. And with the Merlin with a just 2 cost, it's going to be a block. He's going to place himself with he's going to have an early token right now. So keeping up his advantage, 3 expeditions ahead by key spam right now. And has a resupply. He can even get rid of an after you from Shoto. And we know the sabotage is coming. I think it's going to be most likely for the unique. Yeah, going to sabotage on the companion side. Even goes all out with power. Yeah, it's definitely going to be with the unique. Hunger to get rid of everything. Hispam can actually still move ahead because this Hunger is not gigantic. So he is just going to play on the hero side. Shoto has to pass. Could have drawn 2 cards right there, but decides not to. So Trace doing his thing. Decides to keep his cards up. Gets rid of the Vike because this seems not to be an exhaust deck. Tooth Fairy to have a sabotage right there. Okay, place it on the companion side. gets out the Moth Lantern, so this is going to give him a 2/2 on each side, and he can just use control, moves over the Moth to the other side. A very good draw right there. The Caladrius to get rid of the card. He can just use the hook once again to move the Caladrius to the other side. 2 mana left. A Chrysalis just moves it once again to the other side. 1 card left. I don't think it's going to use... Oh, actually, he did. Okay, he just gives a token to anything in order to boost next turn. And he has a combo on hand right now. He can play the Brass Bug and then make it go away with the Grems. Like I said, a combo right now. He goes first, just places the Brass Bug like I thought. Pushing a little bit there. The Hunger with that Gigantic going to play down. And it's actually going to spam lots of Brass Bugs right now. Still got that 5 mana to do its thing. Hunger is a 4. Sacrifices the Jellyfish. Don't think it's going to be enough. Just barely gets 1 token in. But he can just move or use a Gorboch. He didn't actually need to do anything else. And just like that, He-Spam takes the game. Very good from He-Spam. There we go. So cards down. They just get rid of the cards for the final time. And I'm guessing that's it. Yeah, that's it. So just like that, He-Spam takes the game. Now, I was meant to go back here. So the first match we're going to see, we're going to have time for a few matches. So first one is going to be table 45. Let's hope that this was a completed table. Let's move over to 45. There we go. Let's see if it was completed. It was completed. Idoneth was the one called to win with a 69%. He did indeed win. So let's go ahead and have the other two against Korok. So we're going to have the match over here. We're going to have to check Idoneth's deck over here, and we're going to check Korok's deck over here. So both French players, let's go ahead. Oh, sorry. Oh, it did work out in the end. The deck is called Fen, using lots of Rekka cards. So this is a deck taking advantage of set 5. We got Diocles, Chariot Racer. If an expedition facing mine moves backward, an expedition facing mine moves backward to 1 region. If it does, its controller moves their other expedition forward 1 region. So not your expedition, the expeditions on the other side, kind of controlling the ebb and flow of the game, especially looking for contact. When it that is whenever it joins the expeditions. On the other hand, the ability from reserve, you may send to reserve target character with base cost 3 or less. And the support ability, create a mana seed token in each player's landmarks. Then we got the Rekka Farmate. If I'm in contact, draw a card, otherwise resupply. When I leave the expedition zone, sabotage. And finally, the Rekka Caretaker, create mana seed token in target player's landmarks. Whenever she joins the expeditions, and whenever she joins the expedition, return a card from your reserve to your hand. Cycle a card from the reserve to the hand, and the support ability, you may cycle a card from your reserve to your hand. Okay, there we go. That is Korok's. Very interesting uniques at that. Let's see how he uses them in just a second. On the other hand, we got Idoneth, Sierra Uni. He uses a few of set 4 cards. Most are from sets 1, 2, or 3, and some 4. So we got the Bravos Cloudhawk. This is from set 5. You may, both abilities are from reserve. You may sacrifice a permanent. If you do sabotage, you may send to reserve target character with hand cost 3 or less. This is in a Sierra. So interesting having a card that wants to be in reserve with Sierra. Usually Sierra plays with cards from hand. This is Vishkarma. If you have 2 or more cards in reserve, the next permanent sorry you play is offering cost 3 less. That is whenever he joins the expeditions. You may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, you may send to reserve any number of target characters with total 5 mountain or less. So this is a rare avalanche. And the Athena, the one play from reserve. If you control 2 or more landmarks, I lose fleeting. When you play a permanent with hand cost 3 or more, if you control a token, I gain 1 boost for each landmark you control. So kind of looks a little bit to be more of a Izaridic deck, but he did win and he's at 325, so not too shabby, not too bad. Let's go ahead and go to endgame over here and see how the game played out. So this is like, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but this is a French duel. Let's go to end of game. There we go. So we got Sierra against the Fentec. So 3 cards of mana. This is going to be the opener with the rare armor. Is able to block with his own 3 mana, so 1 for 1. So first play from Korok right now. Ooh, going to get rid of the boom? Yeah, guys, has to get rid of the boom right now. Tough choice, but it was the only thing that he could actually do. So passes with, just going to play 1 on each side. Yeah, 1 on each side. Macpen Quarter, going to get 1 boost and so he just plays it on the other side. Reduces the cost by 1, so it's going to be a double advance from Korok, a single advance from Idoneth. So Korok puts himself ahead with also unfortunately overcharging his reserve. So Idoneth with the card advantage. Yeah, I was thinking the Demolition Expert was the way to go. So right now we're going to see the first hive. It's going to be a 3/3 most likely. Yeah, 3/3 is what I was expecting. The Chariot Racer doesn't try to go in contact. Oh, he's trying to block right now. Okay. We're just going to draw a card with Magical Training. 1 mana left. And that's basically it. So he makes himself go back. I think it was an opponent. An expedition facing mine moves backward 1 region. I thought it was the other way around. He moved himself. Okay, well, doesn't matter. There we go. So he has the Brassback over there. First play from Korok. Going to try and block there. So now comes the pain with the 7 on one side and the 4 on the other, and with the double hive, you know that the Sierra is doing her thing. Hather to just move on one side. So there we go. Again, a 1 for 1, but with the double hive, this is going to be an uphill climb for Korok to try to bring it back, especially because he is losing cards like there was no tomorrow. Let's see how he does it right now. And he also can get rid of lots of cards right now. Just place 1 4/4 on each side. Goes first, so just a hook to move it to the other side in case he needs to. The Anansi with these 5 just moves it again. Ooh, moves the Anansi to the Brassback side. And off you go. No more mana for Korok. Gets rid of 1 of the Brassbacks. And then the Avalanche going to get rid of that Anansi. So we are back at a stalemate. 1 for 1. Going to get a mana seed on each side. Doesn't need the mana seed. Actually, is going to waste the mana seed right now. But he still has the 4/4 pressure. Ramping up right now. I think he's going to get rid of the Axiom Foundry. Weird choice, the Foundry. He has not many cards that actually take advantage of that. Blocking the 4, getting another boost and getting a card back. Going to draw right now. The Nursery is going to give... The Nursery is a very good card to have right now. So he just uses the Boom. Actually, rather than the Nursery, he's going to go right away. Get rid of the Rekka. And with that, that is game. Idoneth is going to do the double advance. Like I said, it was an uphill battle once Sierra gets the double hive. And just like that, Idoneth takes the game. And with that, guys, I'm afraid we don't have time for any other more games for today. It has been about an hour, kind of what I was aiming for. I was expecting a little bit more, between 1 hour and an hour 15. I was expecting go to 1:15, but I need to get ready to do some things over here. So thank you very much, guys, for being here. Like I mentioned, I'm going to try to do this on Mondays. This may be my kind of podcast way of going over the things that I've seen during the week. Thank you very much, Susana, for that follow. And with that, this is going to be it for today. Thank you very much, guys. And remember that you have the VODs on the Fall Series channel. Let me just go ahead and link that. Let me go ahead and link that on VOD over here. I'm going to anchor that in case someone wants to see it at any point. So the VOD is over there, and that'll be it for today, guys. Thank you very much. Like I said, I hope to see you all on the next stream. Not sure when it will be. I know that Wednesday will be in theory, the Altered Latin League if we get to eight people. And well, take care, guys. It's been a pleasure doing this hopefully weekly recap of the full series and some topics like when we started. And with that, that'll be all. Thank you very much. See you next time.